what can we say about all roads lead to Russia with Trump? I mean, you just retweeted, Trump makes it clear why he's attacking mail-in voting. Trump, if you have mail-in voting, you're not going to have many Democrats get elected. And also, because, noted election integrity expert Putin told him to. So, I mean, just your thoughts on all of it. General sweep of arm.
Well, he's been going after mail-in voting for a long time, and then he was told by several Republicans in the last election, like, stop it, quiet, we do mail-in voting, you're going to make it really bad, but he really wants to do it this way. So we'll see how it ends up turning out for him. But, here in blue states where we have laws and rules and we follow the Constitution because we do our own elections, the states do the elections, we will continue to use mail-in voting.
Well, that's a good point, Allison. That's what Charlie Pierce was just saying, though. Unfortunately, in states, we've seen how compliant Republicans are. In states where Republicans are in charge, because immediately you go, that's not legal. I mean, Mark Elias and everybody is out there going, this isn't legal, to by executive order, try to cancel voting machines or what do you make of that, by the way, the voting machines? Like, I just, unfortunately, this is just, I am, as we keep saying, not a conspiracy theorist, but now my suspicions about election effery have gone through the roof with all this stuff.
Honestly, he knows he can't get rid of voting machines. He just wants to put it out there to create the pretext later for the fact that the election was stolen from someone.
Right, because he's seeing all the same polling we are, right? And knowing they can't win fairly. So they're trying to figure out.
Right, which is why he's trying to gerrymander Texas and Missouri and Indiana and,
Yeah. And I don't, we were saying, I just think Gavin Newsom is fighting this game exactly the way it should be. Again, I keep saying, Allison, this isn't about 2028 or if he's the perfect candidate or the fight is now or we aren't going to have a 2028, right? I mean, if you think Trump was joking, by the way, in the Oval Office, so as Zelensky answered a question about the difficulty of holding election during Ukraine's war, Trump appeared to jokingly hypothesize how a similar circumstance would allow him to stay in power past his current term. He said, so let me just say, 3.5 years from now, so if you mean we happen to be at war with somebody, no more elections, I wonder what the fake news would say. I don't think anything's a joke at this point, Allison, do you?
No, it's not, especially since he ran on the idea that, he could... what was it that he said? To fight the enemy within, and now he's got military on the streets.
Right.
So he clearly is trying to do that pretext. He knows he can't run again, but isn't going to stop him. But yeah, no, I think you're right. Gavin Newsom is doing the exact right thing. And I was giving him the business for when he was having Steve Bannon on his show, and when he was having Charlie Kirk,
me too.
Platforming Nazis, throwing woke under the bus, throwing our trans friends under the bus. And we all yelled at him. And here's the thing about Democrats that's weird, Stephanie Miller. He listened.
Yeah. He read the room. He read the room.
He did read the room. And that's why, when I criticize our candidates and people are like, you have to stop that. You have to be completely 100% obedient. And I'm like, not in an off year, not when it's 3 months from, if it's 3 months from a general election and that's the only candidate, I'm not going to badmouth them.
Right.
But in an off year, when they're doing wrong stuff, they listen and they move and they do the right thing. And that's what Gavin Newsom is doing. I'm not going to vote for him in 2028. He's not my bag. But I did find out all of the money that he's raising, it's not going toward his 2028 campaign at all. Every single penny, and I've looked into this, and you can trust me, is going toward the redistricting effort.
Yeah.
So,
but that's what I keep saying. This is about 2026. This is not about 2028. That's a long way from now. And
he might use this to run in 2028.
Absolutely.
He's still not progressive enough to get my vote in the primary, but I will vote for a ham sandwich if he wins the primary.
Me too.
Stephanie Miller.
Allison Gill. Why are we being so formal this morning?
Full names this morning. My dear, the loveliest, amazing, most wonderful Stephanie Miller. I will vote for whomever wins the primary.
I feel we're at the summit of leaders with our headsets on.
Yeah.
Allison Gill of New Zealand. I don't know.
There you go.
Am I supposed to address you? Of San Diego. Okay.
If he wins the primary, he won't be my choice, but I'll vote for him. I don't care who wins the primary.
Me
Remember
too.
we all had stickers in 2020 that just said the Democrat 2020?
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
where I'm at.
Yeah, I mean, and the fact that he's even vaguely comparing what's happening in Ukraine to here in terms of, and this is what we said in L.A., Allison, we talked about this. This was a test for martial law to cancel elections. I would not put anything past him. I mean, the whole reason he ran last time is to stay out of prison. This is the same thing. It's to fend off any accountability, right, in Congress or anywhere else. So Zelensky noted the difficulties. He said we can do security. We need a truce, yes, everywhere, the battlefield, the sky, and the sea, to make it possible for people to do democratic, open, legal elections. And Trump then echoed comments Putin made to him. Mail-in ballots are corrupt. You never have a real democracy with mail-in ballots. If you end mail-in voting, you're not going to have many Democrats elected, the thing you quoted. I mean, he is clearly, between that and trying to steal the seats in Texas, he is panicked, right?
Oh, well, for sure. I mean, the policies are horrible, and that's why they have to cheat to do this. But they're not trying to be sly about it. Not that they were super sly ever to begin with, but they're not trying to be sly about it anymore. They're like, we need 5 seats. Find me 5 seats. I need 11,780.
Yes.
Bring me 11,000. We're going to get rid of mail-in voting because I need to get a third term. I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see, because for a long time with the big, beautiful bill, we were like, are actual congressional Republicans who have to get elected again going to back this when their constituents hate it so much? Yes, they bowed down and they kowtowed and they voted for it, like Josh Hawley, who said he didn't want to, but did. Are they going to do the same thing with getting rid of mail-in voting? Because Republicans rely on that in red states to win a lot of elections. And so will they kowtow to Trump, or will they help him get rid of mail-in voting? We'll see if they'll go that far.
Do you have suspicions? What was it Chris Malcolm Nance said to us? Because I keep saying I'm not a conspiracy theorist. It's just, it seems like there's so much that's been out there and things that have been said in public that would arouse your suspicion. And again, it's not even about 2024. It's about 2026 and 28 and going forward. I think Malcolm Nance said something to us about the state tabulation. That's what he feels could be hackable, like whatever, the state tabulation. I don't know what they are, computers or whatever. What do you think it means? Does it make you suspicious that he brought up not just mail-in voting? We know is because they can't suppress black and brown votes like they're used to, right? That's how we overcame that in 2020 because of the pandemic. But what does it say to you when he's talking about no voting machines and no mail-in voting? Like I know you're saying just to raise doubts about election integrity in general, but does it give you specific suspicions?
Well, it depends. I mean, there's so much. Our voting machines aren't connected to the internet. Our voter tabulation machines, the machines that we use, like cash counting machines, we send those results to computer systems and we upload them.
Right.
I have no idea. I am a Luddite, Stephanie Miller.
Yes, Allison Gill. Allison Gill of San Diego. Yes.
Of the beautiful Los Angeles. I don't know how any of that works.
Yeah.
I've always been, because I've listened to Jennifer Cohn. I'm sure you've had her on the show. I'm always like hand-marked paper ballots. I want hand-marked paper ballots.
Yeah.
But that's also what Trump wants. And so then now I'm scratching my head like, what's he at?
That's what I mean. What's your suspicion? Because you go, wait a minute. If he's saying he and Putin think this, I'm
because he's always up to something.
Right. Because they cheated in all of the elections. Yeah. Right. In 2020, we were just able to overcome it because of the pandemic and mail-in voting. Like, he's exactly right about that, but it's because more people got to vote, right?
Because it was easier to vote because we all had mail-in ballots in 2020.
Right.
But he also happened to lose in 2020.
Right.
And so whatever we did in 2020 has to be wrong because he lost.
Right. Right.
And either that or, I mean, it's like I said, it's just obviously setting up a pretext to be able to complain that the election was rigged.
But I mean, the fact that he is basically saying there's massive cheating or whatever in 2024, I'm like, great, let's do an audit of the swing states. Like, he's the one that's bringing up, that elections haven't been secure, right?
Sure, yeah. I'm all down for an audit. But, it would be like if I'm going to go to the gym here in an hour and I will just declare that treadmills are they're putting out wrong information, so that when I get to the gym and it says I only went 1.2 miles instead of a 5K, I can be like, I told you, look, it's the treadmill. It's fake.
I'm going to fire the treadmill numbers guy. He's wrong.
I'm not going to be using no more treadmills. They're wrong. But I am the healthiest ever. That's what it's like. And it's really just pretext to be able to say, the election was rigged. He wasn't able to provide enough evidence in 2020, any evidence that there was fraud in 2020. So he's setting it up so he can, put into question the results of 2028, which is interesting because he isn't even running. But I digress.
Well, that's the other thing that raises suspicions. Why is he talking about this when, he presumably can't run again and blah, blah, blah. But anyway, I loved your requote of Senator Gallego, who just was talking about Mamdani, just to your point about liberal purity tests and how far away 2028 is. He said it's okay to say I disagree with this and this and this, but I agree with that. But the idea that we're just going to throw people out that are really bringing new ideas to the fold, exciting people just because they're slightly to the right or to the left of us is dumb. So, I mean, that's what I say is let's be the big tent we always say we are, right?
It is dumb. And we're also not 9. Like,
right, exactly.
I know you can talk to me and you can use your words and you can say, look, Allison, I don't really agree with his particular platform because that platform isn't going to work nationwide. You can't run on a Mamdani platform in Orange County, for example, in Mike Levin's district.
Right.
You're not 9, so I feel comfortable explaining that to you and having you understand it. But what Mamdani has done with his ground game and how it's about affordability and how he talks to voters, that can be used anywhere, despite what the if you don't want free buses in wherever, whatever your district is.
I love AOC, but AOC has said, I probably wouldn't win in, I can't remember what state she said, Nebraska, something, I mean, so that's why I think we must be a big tent. But,
and what's wrong with Mamdani's platform? I mean, I don't even have to get into that, but let's just go ahead and say you agree with it, or you don't agree with it, and it's not going to work in your specific district. Fine, like it's not going to work in Brooklyn, is what you're saying, Jeffries.
We've been accused already today of what now? Hating homeless people, trans people, and loving genocide.
Yes.
Which I think is a given if you've ever listened to the show. Okay. Mogully Mogul is here. Mogully McMogulson from Mogultown is here for the whole hour.
That's right.
Well, CPAP machines are the worst, right? Who can sleep at night with that mask and hose strapped to your face? But without it, breathing is disrupted, and if you have a higher risk of dementia, stroke, heart disease, or premature death, the bottom line is if you snore now, you are at heightened risk of requiring a CPAP machine later. So now is the time to stop snoring. One of the smartest, fastest, easiest ways to stop snoring is Zipa. Zipa is the comfortable doctor-designed mouthpiece that can stop snoring as fast as the first night. Don't be fooled by imitators. Zipa was proven in a 600-patient clinical trial, and with over 500,000 units sold, Zipa is the stop snoring device that we trust. No more being nudged awake for snoring. No more sleeping in separate rooms. No more feeling tired and foggy all day due to lack of sleep. Look, this may be your last best chance to solve your snoring problem now, or face having to wear that CPAP mask later. Zipa, that's Happy Z spelled backward. I want you to try it with my special discount. Get 20% off and free shipping if you visit ZYPPAH.com. Use that promo code SNORE. Again, the promo code is SNORE at Zipa.com.